Let me ask you a question. Why do so many people over 50 start to feel weaker in their legs, less stable, more afraid of falling? It's not just aging, it's something deeper. It's your bones silently losing strength day by day, a condition known as osteoporosis. And here's the scary part. Most people don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. But what if I told you there's a simple natural vegetable, often overlooked, that can help strengthen your bones, support your legs, and fight back against osteoporosis? Better than spinach? Yes, better than spinach. Let me share something with you that might completely change the way you look at healthy foods. For years, we've all been told the same thing: eat your spinach. And yes, spinach has earned its reputation. It's green, it's natural, it's packed with nutrients. But here's the truth that most people don't hear. Not all nutrients that go into your mouth actually make it into your body. And that's where the real problem begins. You see, spinach contains something called oxalates. These are natural compounds found in certain plant foods. On the surface, that may not sound like a big deal, but inside your body, oxalates can bind to calcium and form crystals, making that calcium much harder for your body to absorb. So even though spinach contains calcium, your body may be missing out on a large portion of it. Now think about that for a moment. You're eating what you believe is a bone-strengthening food, yet your bones may not be receiving the full benefit. And over time, that gap matters because your bones are constantly changing. They're alive. They're rebuilding every single day. And if they're not getting the minerals they need in the right form, they begin to weaken. Slowly, silently, without warning. This is how conditions like osteoporosis begin to develop. Without pain, without obvious symptoms, until one day something as simple as a small fall becomes a serious injury. Now here's where things get interesting. There's another vegetable, one that doesn't get nearly as much attention, that may actually support your bones far more effectively. I'm talking about bok choy. This leafy green vegetable may look simple, but inside it carries a powerful advantage. Unlike spinach, bok choy is low in oxalates. That means when you eat it, the calcium it contains is far more bioavailable. In other words, your body can absorb and use it much more efficiently. And that's the key word here, absorption, because it's not about how much calcium is in your food. It's about how much your body can actually take in and put to work. Bok choy gives your body a better chance to do exactly that. And it doesn't stop there. This vegetable is also rich in vitamin K, which plays a critical role in directing calcium into your bones where it belongs and keeping it out of places it shouldn't be, like your arteries. So now you have a powerful combination: calcium that your body can absorb and nutrients that help guide it to strengthen your skeletal system. This is how you build stronger bones from the inside out. And when your bones become stronger, your legs become stronger, your balance improves, your confidence grows, and your risk of fractures begins to decrease. But here's something even more important to understand. This isn't about replacing one vegetable with another. It's about becoming aware. It's about realizing that not all healthy foods work the same way in your body. Two foods may look similar on your plate, but inside your body, they can have very different effects. And when it comes to your bones, especially as you get older, those differences matter more than ever. Because after the age of 40, your body begins to lose bone faster than it can rebuild it. That means every bite you take either supports your bones or it doesn't. There's very little room in between. So when you choose foods like bok choy, foods that allow your body to truly absorb and utilize nutrients, you're giving yourself an advantage, a natural, powerful advantage. And the best part, this isn't complicated. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need extreme diets. You just need to make smarter choices, small changes that add up over time. Add bok choy to your meals. Lightly cook it, toss it into soups, stir fry it with a little healthy oil. Make it part of your routine. Because consistency is what creates results. Not perfection, consistency. And over time, those small, consistent choices begin to strengthen your body in ways you can actually feel. You stand a little taller. You walk with more stability. You feel more secure in your movements. And that fear, the fear of falling, the fear of breaking a bone starts to fade. That's the power of giving your body what it truly needs. So yes, spinach is good, but understanding how your body uses nutrients, that's where the real transformation begins. Because once you start working with your body instead of against it, everything changes. Let me tell you something that many people overlook until it's too late. Your legs are not just muscles. They are a reflection of your bone strength, your stability, and ultimately, your independence. When your legs are strong, you move with confidence, you walk without fear, you live your life on your terms. But when weakness begins to set in, everything changes, steps become slower, balance becomes uncertain, and that silent fear of falling starts to creep in. Now here's the truth. This weakness doesn't just come from aging, it often comes from what's happening deep inside your bones. A condition known as osteoporosis slowly reduces bone density, making your legs weaker, more fragile, and more prone to fractures. And the most dangerous part, you don't feel it happening. There's no pain in the early stages, no warning signs, just a gradual loss of strength until one day your body can no longer support you the way it used to. But here's the good news. Your body has an incredible ability to rebuild and strengthen itself when given the right nutrients. And this is where that powerful vegetable we talked about comes into play, because it's not just about calcium. It's about a combination of nutrients working together in harmony to support both your bones and your muscles. This vegetable is rich in calcium, the primary building block of your bones. Without enough calcium, your bones become porous, weak, brittle. But calcium alone is not enough. In fact, many people take calcium supplements and still struggle with bone loss. Why? Because calcium needs help. And that help comes from vitamin K. Vitamin K acts like a guide. It helps direct calcium into your bones, where it strengthens structure and keeps it from being deposited in your arteries, where it can cause harm. Think of it as a traffic controller, making sure calcium goes exactly where your body needs it most. Now let's take it one step further. This vegetable is also loaded with magnesium. Magnesium plays a critical role in converting vitamin D into its active form, which then helps your body absorb calcium more efficiently. So now you have a chain reaction. Magnesium activates vitamin D. Vitamin D enhances calcium absorption. Vitamin K directs calcium into the bones, and calcium strengthens the bones themselves. This is not just nutrition, this is synergy. This is how your body was designed to function. And when all of these nutrients are present together, naturally in one food, you create the perfect environment for stronger bones and stronger legs. But we're not done yet. There's also potassium. Potassium helps neutralize acids in the body that can leach calcium out of your bones. In other words, it protects the calcium you already have. So now you're not only building bone, you're preserving it. And when you preserve and build bone at the same time, that's when real strength begins to develop. Now think about how this affects your legs. Your leg strength is not just about muscles pushing against the ground. It's about the bones supporting that force. If the bones are weak, the muscles cannot function at their full potential. But when your bones are strong, your muscles have a solid foundation to work from. You feel more stable, more powerful, more in control of your movements. This is especially important as you get older, because one of the leading causes of injury in older adults is falling. And falls often lead to fractures, particularly in the hips. A hip fracture can be life-changing. It can take away mobility, independence, confidence. But here's what many people don't realize. Stronger bones significantly reduce that risk. And it starts with what you put into your body every single day. When you consistently nourish your body with the right nutrients, you begin to rebuild what time has taken away. Your bones become denser, your legs become stronger, your balance improves, and your body starts to respond in ways that you can actually feel. Standing up becomes easier, walking feels more natural, climbing stairs doesn't feel like a challenge anymore. These are the small victories that add up to a better quality of life. But remember this, it doesn't happen overnight. This is not about quick fixes or shortcuts. This is about consistency, about making the right choices again and again, because your body is always listening to what you do daily. And every healthy choice sends a message: rebuild, strengthen, support. So when you include nutrient-rich foods like this vegetable into your routine, you're not just eating. You're investing in your future. You're protecting your legs. You're strengthening your bones. And you're giving yourself the ability to move freely, confidently, and independently for years to come. That's what true health is all about. Not just living longer, but living stronger. Let me share something with you that most people don't fully understand until they begin to feel it. A gradual loss of strength, a little less stability, a slight hesitation when walking or climbing stairs. And they think to themselves, it's just age. But is it really just age? Or is it something happening beneath the surface, something you have more control over than you realize? Here's the truth. After the age of 40, your body begins to change in a very important way. Your bones are constantly going through a process called remodeling. Old bone is broken down and new bone is built up. When you're younger, this process is balanced, sometimes even tilted in your favor. But as time goes on, that balance begins to shift. Bone breakdown starts to outpace bone building. And slowly, silently, your bones begin to lose density. This is how osteoporosis develops, not overnight, not suddenly, but gradually over years. And the most dangerous part is you don't feel it happening. There's no pain when bone density is decreasing. No alarm bells, no warning signs, until one day something simple, a small trip, a minor fall results in a fracture that changes everything. Now let me ask you something. What if you could slow that process down? What if you could support your body in rebuilding bone even after 40, 50, or 60? Because here's the good news. You can. Your body never loses its ability to adapt. It never stops responding to the signals you give it. But you have to give it the right signals. And those signals come from three powerful areas: nutrition, movement, and absorption. Let's start with nutrition. Your bones require specific nutrients to maintain their strength: calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin K. But as we talked about earlier, it's not just about consuming these nutrients. It's about how well your body can use them. Because you can eat all the right foods in the world, but if your body isn't absorbing those nutrients properly, your bones won't benefit. This is why choosing foods that are bioavailable, foods your body can easily break down and utilize, is so important. Now let's talk about movement. Your bones respond to stress, not harmful stress, but healthy, controlled stress. When you walk, when you stand, when you engage your muscles, you send a signal to your bones that says, we need to stay strong. And your body responds by reinforcing those bones. But when you become sedentary, when movement decreases, that signal weakens. And your body begins to say, we don't need as much bone strength anymore. So it starts to let go of it. This is why regular movement, something as simple as walking, can have a profound effect on your bone health. It's not about intense workouts. It's about consistency, about giving your body a reason to stay strong. And then there's the third piece, absorption. This is the one most people completely overlook. You see, without adequate vitamin D, your body cannot properly absorb calcium. You could be eating calcium-rich foods every day, but without vitamin D, much of that calcium simply passes through your system unused. And where do you get vitamin D? Sunlight. Just a few minutes of daily sunlight exposure can help your body produce this essential vitamin. It's simple, natural, and incredibly powerful. Now when you combine all three of these elements, proper nutrition, consistent movement, and effective absorption, something amazing begins to happen. Your body starts to shift back toward building rather than losing. Your bones begin to regain strength. Your legs feel more stable. Your posture improves. Your confidence grows. And that fear, the fear of falling, the fear of breaking something, begins to fade. But let me be very clear about something. This is not about reversing decades of neglect overnight. This is about direction, because your body is always moving in one of two directions, toward strength or toward weakness. And every choice you make, every meal, every step, every moment in the sun pushes you in one direction or the other. So the question is, which direction are you choosing? Because even small changes can create powerful results over time. A short daily walk, a few minutes of sunlight, adding more nutrient-rich foods to your meals. These may seem simple, but but they are the exact signals your body needs to begin rebuilding. And the sooner you start, the better your results will be. Because bone loss may increase with age, but weakness is not inevitable. Frailty is not guaranteed, and losing your independence is not your destiny. You have more control than you think, and your body is ready to respond. All you have to do is give it the chance. Let me be very honest with you. Most people don't fail because they don't know what to do. They fail because they don't do it consistently. They start strong, full of motivation, ready to change their health, and then life happens. They skip a day, then another, and before they know it, they're right back where they started. But here's something you need to understand. Your body doesn't respond to what you do occasionally. It responds to what you do repeatedly. It responds to patterns, to habits, to consistency, because every single day your body is listening. It's paying attention to the signals you send through your actions. And based on those signals, it decides, should I build strength or should I break it down? This is especially true when it comes to your bones and your legs. You don't build strong bones overnight, and you don't lose them overnight either. It happens gradually, over time, through repeated behaviors. And this is where most people go wrong. They look for quick fixes, a pill, a supplement, a shortcut, but real health doesn't work that way. Strong legs, strong bones, stability, balance. These are the results of small actions done consistently over days, weeks, months, and years. Let's talk about what that really looks like. It starts with what you eat, not just once in a while, but regularly. Choosing foods that support your bones, foods rich in calcium, magnesium, vitamin K, and more importantly, foods your body can actually absorb and use. Because one healthy meal won't change your life, but hundreds of healthy meals over time will. Now think about movement. You don't need extreme workouts. You don't need to push your body to the limit. What your body needs is regular, consistent movement. Walking, stretching, simple resistance exercises. These movements send a message to your body. Stay strong, stay active, stay capable. And when that message is repeated day after day, your body adapts, your muscles become stronger, your bones become denser, your balance improves. But here's where it gets even more powerful. When you combine consistency in nutrition with consistency in movement, you create a compounding effect. Each one enhances the other. Your body becomes more efficient, more resilient, more stable. Now let's not forget one of the most overlooked factors, sunlight. Just a few minutes a day, that's all it takes to help your body produce vitamin D, essential for calcium absorption. But again, it's not about doing it once. It's about doing it regularly, because your body doesn't store months of vitamin D from one day in the sun. It needs ongoing exposure, consistent exposure, and when you give it that, you improve your ability to absorb the very nutrients your bones depend on. Now let me ask you something. What do all of these things have in common? They're simple. There's nothing complicated here. No extreme diets, no expensive programs, no overwhelming routines, just simple, natural actions. But when done consistently, they become incredibly powerful. And this is where the real transformation happens, not in one day, but in what you do every day. Because consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds results. At first, you may not notice much. You may wonder if it's even working, but behind the scenes, your body is changing. Your bones are adapting. Your muscles are responding. Your stability is improving. And then one day, you feel it. You stand up more easily. You walk with more confidence. You move without that same fear or hesitation. That's when you realize the small things you've been doing consistently are adding up. Now here's something very important. Consistency does not mean perfection. You don't have to get it right every single day. You don't have to follow a perfect routine, because perfection is not sustainable, but consistency is. Consistency means showing up even when you don't feel like it. Making better choices even if they're not perfect. Doing something rather than nothing. Because something done consistently is always better than nothing done occasionally. And over time, those small, imperfect, consistent actions create real, lasting change. They protect your bones, they strengthen your legs, they reduce your risk of falls, they preserve your independence. And that's what this is really about. Independence, the ability to move freely, to live your life without relying on others, to feel confident in your body, and avoid the devastating consequences of conditions like osteoporosis. Because once a serious fracture occurs, life can change very quickly. Mobility can be lost, confidence can disappear, and recovery can be long and difficult. But the good news is you have the power to reduce that risk. You have the ability to strengthen your body starting right now, not through drastic changes, but through consistent ones. So don't underestimate the power of the small things. Don't overlook the daily habits, because those daily habits are shaping your future. Every step you take, every healthy meal you choose, every moment you spend moving your body or getting sunlight, it all matters. It all adds up. And it all moves you in one direction, towards strength, towards stability, toward a healthier, more confident you.